I guess what were the messages, conversations like in the locker room after this one?
Obviously super disappointed. Anytime you play at home, you want to win, And I think everybody, players, coaching staff, was a little bit disappointed that we didn't get the win. I think we had some chances that we could have finished. We also gave up a lot of chances, I think. So it really could have gone either way. It didn't go our way tonight, and so everybody's disappointed. But, ready to get back to work for next Saturday against Houston.
What did you see from San Diego? Pablo kind of mentioned that they brought in some things that you guys maybe hadn't seen before, some different looks. Obviously, pretty strong play from them overall. Just thoughts on them as a team.
Yeah, they're a really good side. I mean, I think they're really, really comfortable with the ball and really, really good at finding the extra man, whether that's in the middle or out wide, and playing through pressure, And so I think us as a team, we like to try and press high and win the ball high, which we did a couple times. But I think when we do that, if we don't get it right sometimes and the other team is really good, really composed on the ball, they can get out a lot of times, which they ended up doing. And I think they proposed some different challenges that we didn't expect at first, that we didn't really see when we were kind of training. I think with how high their left back was, and with how they left three guys high and narrow up top, so we were trying to shift over, but it was a little bit tough to shift all the way. And I think it definitely proposed us some challenges that we were trying to overcome.
Emeka, unfortunate loss tonight. What are some good takeaways that you want to take away from this match heading into Houston for next week?
I think whenever you can create 4 or 5 big chances against the team, I think that's always a good sign. Not every single day are you gonna convert all 5 chances. Obviously, you want to try and convert at least 50% or something around there. So I think whenever we can create good amounts of chances, that's a big plus for us. I think we defended. I don't think we defended necessarily well, but I think the communication that we had, that we tried to solve the problems, was a step up from what we've done in the past. I think it takes a lot of work and a lot of communication during the game to try and solve problems that you're not used to. So I think just the creating chances was good. I think the communication through all the guys was relatively good, but it didn't go our way at the end of the day.
And lastly, you'll have the captain's armband, looks like this for this season. What does that mean, leading this group throughout the season, wearing that armband?
Yeah, it's a big honor, to try and lead this team. Obviously, I think whenever you try and lead a team, you're just trying to lead by example, And I think that's what I've tried to do these last 2.5 years, hold each other accountable, and try and grow myself as an individual, but everyone else as a team. When we can grow as an individual and as a collective, then the team's going to be better. We're going to get better results. So just trying to lead that way. I think something that I've tried to think of since being captain is, not really trying to change how I am. I mean, on game days now, I have a piece of cloth that's on my bicep, but other than that, just try and stay the same, stay the course, encourage others, push others, and hold others accountable.
Awesome. Thank you, Micah.
Mecca, tough loss. What were they doing that was making it difficult for you guys to play it out of the back? It looked like they had you pinned back there quite a bit. Looks like the club is, getting more comfortable playing out of the back. But how do you transition and go forward more? Is that something you want to try and do?
Yeah, definitely. I think, they defended relatively well. I think we kind of got not necessarily impatient at times, but yeah, I think we did swing it around the back a couple of times, but I think more penetrating passes to our 10s and to our players out wide could have helped us go forward a little bit more. I honestly don't think it was the worst game from us going forward or playing forward, honestly. I think a lot of penetrating passes, played through the middle a couple of times, had a couple good one-on-ones. So I don't think it was the worst game from us playing out. And playing forward, but yeah.
So what do you do when you look at film at a game like this? Where do you focus on? What do you think? What are you expecting to see when you look at film for this game?
Yeah, I think probably mainly focus on the defensive side. I think whenever you give up 3 goals and a lot of chances, and whenever you create a lot of chances, then you kind of assume that, you know, maybe the attacking was decent, which I think it was from just playing in the game. But I think the defending side, I think just maybe some of our rotations through the back line and maybe through the 2 pivots as well. One to step a center back forward, or one to maybe shift the pivot over so that we're not fully man-to-man at the back and just leaving a lot of gaps and spaces for them to play through. I think that would be probably my first takeaway from playing the game, is that, you know, they had a lot of times that they played through us and we were sprinting back to our goals. So I think that, and I think also just a little bit of control in the game. You know, there was a point in the second half where it was really back and forth. A point in the first half too where it was really back and forth, where we would win it, we would go, we would lose it, they would go, and it's a lot of sprinting back and forth. And I think maybe as a collective, as a team, just to learn when it's not on like 100%, or you really don't think there's going to be a clear chance, to maybe we put our foot on the ball, and then we can, you know, camp out in their half, connect some passes together, try and find another chance. But, you know, when it gets to a really big transition game, that's when gaps really open up. We give up a lot of chances, guys get tired, things like that. So yeah.
And last thing, what about mentality? Young team, you give up a goal. Looks like that third goal was kind of, you know, maybe a mental little bit of breakdown, you getting forward. But how do you bring that mentality back to where you're positive and you don't focus too much on giving up so many goals?
Yeah, I think we just got to hold ourselves to a higher standard, not only as a collective, but make it an individual responsibility to hold ourselves to a higher standard. You know, I think when we get into these games and it's really critical moments, late in games, you know, they scored in the 91st minute and the 96th minute. I think we just got to have that switch from an individual standpoint that, oh, I know there's only 5 minutes left, it's extra time, that I'm not going to let a goal happen. I'm going to be tighter to my man. I'm not going to let my man beat me, you know, on the sideline. I'm not going to let my man get to the ball first, and just have that mental switch and just know that everybody on the team is thinking that. And I think if we can have that, then those moments that late on in the game, you know, we'll be able to win more of those duels and not let up those goals, because that's what cost us today, you know. I mean, I think when you think you're at home, you know, and it's a 1-1 game, 91st minute, I think a lot of us were thinking like, and the chances that we missed, a lot of us are thinking like, oh, we have to win this game. And I think, you know, it kind of has a mindset switch to that. You saying we have to win this game, but really we should focus on, you know, not losing the game at that point, because a loss is obviously worse than a draw. And, you know, I think we just have to have that mentality switch that, okay, it's 1-1, 91st minute. Yes, we want to win this game, but we cannot lose this game. We have to do everything in our power individually and as a collective to not give up a goal. And it let us down for the last 6 minutes, and then that's where we lost the game.
Anyone else for Emeka? Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.